What's up, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Okay. Okay. So how has the first week and a half, no, 2 weeks now, senior year been?
Pretty decent. It's been going good so far.
Okay. Okay. What's most challenging?
Most challenging. The classes
Right.
are not challenging. You know, like you just gotta
Okay.
get your work done. But as far as me, my goals, I'll say, I'm just a blockage to myself. But we work
Okay.
on that every day. We continue to work on that part, and that way, cause I got like we made up a plan. Well, my mom she kind of helped me schedule out a plan to where I could get all the stuff done that I need to. That way,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not waiting so
Mm-hmm.
long to, especially like for college and stuff, waiting so long to select
Yep.
one. So we gotta. She
Yep.
actually wrote it on this little paper, this little schedule.
Now who is she?
My mom.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know if you was talking about a counselor or what. Okay, so what hold that sheet up. Okay. Uh yeah, I can see it, but I can't necessarily see it. So look, this is what I want you to do. Can you snap a picture of that
Yeah,
and email it to me, or snap a
I'm gonna
picture of
email
it
it to
and
you.
send it back in the you can email it, you can send it back in the Remind app, you can text me, either way. And so as you're doing that, let's start as we always do, right? So what's positive in your life, man? It's been about 3 weeks, 3 4 weeks since I talked to you. So what's positive in your life?
Positive. I have been working out after practice. I do that every day. I'm getting good with that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my support system. I under my understanding of my support system, of how um much my people are behind me and want to see me do good. That's positive. I got good
Mm-hmm.
friends.
Mm-hmm.
My circle is very
Mm-hmm.
small. Um,
Good.
yeah, just trying to stay on track. That's
Okay. Uh
been going pretty good.
okay. So now what are you grateful for?
Yeah, grateful for
Mm-hmm.
just waking up every day and being able to know that I could keep pushing towards what I want to do.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
So jumping into it, is that it, Dodi? Or you got something else?
that's it.
Okay. All right. So now you mentioned something about like having a blockage. What do you mean by that?
Um, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's just laziness. That's
Okay.
basically.
So
I guess that's
okay.
yeah. That's what you could say.
Okay. So what areas would you say what right that's the blockage or the laziness in doing what? Is it like blockage and clarity of what needs to be done, or blockage and a plan to get things done, or like you know what I'm saying? So like help me understand when you say blockage, so that we can break this down in the next 20 minutes.
So like for an example, did you get the text, the picture?
Yep,
I
yep, yep.
so
I'm about
you
to share
see on
my
my
screen with it in a second too.
yeah, so you
Go
see
ahead.
on my schedule where it's like I in the mornings I gotta do I supposed to be doing an ACT prep subject because I have to get my ACT score up to 23. It's at a 21 right now. But so, you would think it wouldn't be that hard.
Okay,
So, but it's
okay,
just I don't know really what I have to work on to get it to 23. My mom was like, you just take little practice tests, like at least from one subject in the morning. Just take one test, and maybe it don't have to
hmm
be every morning. Maybe it could be every other morning. But like, take one practice test so you could see like what you miss, what you don't, what you get right and stuff.
okay,
How much, how to
okay.
time yourself. But it's just let me see
Now,
how this.
who said you needed 20? Who said you needed 23?
The school. That's I need a 23 to be an honor graduate, and that's what I've been working on like since I've been in
20.
ninth grade. That's the curriculum I've been on, so I could be an honor graduate.
Yep.
And
Now, what exactly is an honor graduate, D?
I guess you graduate with honors in like from high school.
Okay.
Mm,
Okay. So if you don't get a 23, what happens?
I don't I don't become an honor graduate.
Okay. And by not becoming an honor graduate, like what happens by not becoming an honor graduate, or what happens by becoming an honor graduate? Like I'm trying
It's
to
really like
understand the go ahead.
it's not really. I don't know if it's really like just that big of importance, but it's important to me because it's like a goal I
Yep.
set for myself.
Yep.
Because
Yep. Yep.
I told myself I wanted to graduate with honors, and that's what I've been working
Yep.
on
Okay.
the whole time. So if I don't get it, it'd be
Since
like
freshman
you
year.
came up short.
Since
Yeah, like you
okay.
came up short
So
by two
now,
points.
what are the other requirements to be an honor graduate?
All all the other requirements I got. It's
No,
like
what are the
uh
requirements? What are some of the other requirements?
I know you gotta take at least two AP classes. You gotta you gotta take 3 years of math, 4 years of English, 3 years of
Okay, so
science. And, you can go.
okay, so it's just a certain curriculum level.
Yes,
Is that it?
yeah.
Like just a certain structure of how you take a class. Okay, okay, I got it. Now, graduating honor graduate, it'll have you at what? Like is that on a 5.0 scale?
Um, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. Like GPA,
Okay. Yeah, so like do you have honors classes right now
I take
or
AP
AP
class.
classes? Okay. And so
Yes, sir.
those are weighted a little more though, right? Like that should be on the
Like,
5.0 scale, right? N-
yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So So rightfully so, being an honors graduate, you can graduate with over a traditional 4.0. Is that about right? Okay.
Correct.
Now, so I'm asking these questions so that I can understand the importance, so that I can kind of get in your realm so we can work this out together. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So graduating with honors will open up your recruitment um, eligibility because now schools will be able to offer you not only athletic money but also academic money. Does that make sense? Right?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so
Yes.
this is this is a goal that Darrion Love has had since he walked into the school freshman year. So you want to get to the goal, and as you said, and let's look at it from a basketball standpoint, you don't want to lose the game by one possession because 2 points is really one possession, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's work this thing from a basketball standpoint, and then we'll work out the rest of the schedule. In terms of locking your mind around this, it's the it's halftime and you're down 2 points, right? From your standpoint, do you how do you want to go into halftime? Do you want to go into halftime like up a lot, down a lot, down a few, up a few? Like what preference makes you feel good going into halftime?
If I'm up a lot, then it seems like an easy game. I'd rather go into halftime up a few, cause that means it's a good game,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
and we playing pretty
And
good.
so, okay. I, as a coach, it terrifies me if we go up at halftime and we up by a whole lot. It terrifies me. Why does it terrify me? Because we may get complacent and think we've played our best basketball, right?
Yes, sir.
From a from on the other side, I don't mind going into halftime up a couple, but I may prefer going into halftime either up 4-6 or down 4 or 6 because that tells me depending on what we if the other team has played their best basketball first half and we only down less than 6, it tells me that we got a great chance of winning because there's so much more we can do second half. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're looking at this even though it's the start of the senior year, but now let's look at it like halftime. At halftime, we go into the locker room and we have to do what as a team?
You
Make
gotta
what?
make it like decisions. Like
Yep. Yep.
I gotta reflect.
So, yep. So we have to reflect, but we have to make adjustments, right? Based on what we see is coming. Does that make sense? Now, here's a couple things that I'm gonna have you do. One, I want you to go get today or Monday. I want you to go to your counselor and I want you to get what's called a graduation audit. All right.
Yes, sir.
And I want you, that's all the classes that you've taken, all the classes that are required, all the classes that you've passed, and how that lines up. Does that make sense? Right? That's one. And I need you to write these down. And then we're going to get to the schedule. So, one, go to your counselor, get a graduation audit. If they ask, what is that? Right? You want a copy of all the classes that you've taken. So it's basically like a rubric, like a map. All the graduation requirements, you want them to check off all the classes that you've taken that meet those requirements, all the classes that you've passed that meet those requirements, right? And if it's class that you've taken that don't meet those requirements, whatever, right? So you know what exactly based on those requirements are needed to graduate, even like and to graduate as an honors graduate. So they have to put that 23 in there because you want a graduation audit to be an honors graduate so that you know exactly what's needed both on the college with the college courses and the high school. The second thing is once we get that graduation audit, now we need to line it up because we're not going to overwhelm your counselor, but now we going to line it up and how that fares with the NCAA eligibility requirements, right? So after you get that audit and that piece of paper, then we can look how that adds up to the NCAA requirements. You already got your NCAA number, right?
What the number? What you mean?
Your clearinghouse number. Do you have your NCAA
Yeah,
clearinghouse number?
I believe so. I believe
Okay.
so. Cause we already like registered, like I guess like signed up
Yeah.
for it.
So and that's what I'm saying. So you registered with the NCAA and all of that, right? And I know me and you went over this about 2 months ago, and you said that you had it because you had started some of it, I think, with NCSA or something. But you said that you had it. Do you remember what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we
Okay.
been like made an account for the NCAA
Mhm.
eligibility thing.
Yeah. Okay. So I want you to go back to your email, right? Or I want you to go to eligibility center.org, right? So you can go to eligibilitycenter.org. It's the NCAA Eligibility Center, right? So eligibilitycenter.org, and that's going to send you to this screen, right? When you go to eligibilitycenter.org, it's going to send you to this screen, right? I want you to, if you don't know your login, I want you to click here, forgot your password, and get your username and your password, right? Because you probably created a profile or probably created a profile as opposed to an account, right? Because you got to pay for an account, but you can create your profile. Go into that profile and get that number, right? Because it's an NCAA number. I want you to get that because we're going to start having to make sure that everything is in place into the system. Because again, like when I said about your YouTube page, right? And we're gonna start getting into that next Friday, right? But now we're gonna make it easy for all Darion's information, right? So when coaches start asking, it's different for a coach to say, okay, like if you're going for a job and you don't have a resume, as
Yes,
opposed to you
sir.
go to a job, not only do you have resume, but you got like other evidence. So that NCAA number is like now you just get a coach your NCAA number. They can figure out other things, and then we are gonna throw in and get all the information. So even while you going in the gym working out, like I said, if nothing else, grab your camera and set it up so that you can just get some real live raw video of you working out. Because we want to put all that to the YouTube page. So one, get that graduation audit, right? But so here's the thing. Understand that if we can attack this recruitment from both angles, your that list of like 60 something schools, right, gets bigger because some of those schools can now offer you money from an academic side. So So the goal of passing or being an honors graduate is not just so you can reach your goal, but now it's like halftime. You down 2 points, so let's make the adjustments. Now the adjustments that we got to make is: do you have a copy of your test scores?
The ACT test scores.
Yep, because that's the one we're talking about, right? We're talking about SAT or ACT.
ACT.
Yep. Okay. Do you have a copy of those scores?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want you to send me a copy of that also, because from that we can look at the scores and see what portion of the test you need more improvement on, right? Because with the test, even though you take the test over, so let's say that your science need to come, right? And so maybe just increasing the science by 2 points may boost your whole score up, right? Let's say 5 or 10 points. Maybe your math may need to come up 3 or 5 points, right? That may. So I had a former client, right, who his son needed um his actual test scores went up by 10 points because he improved his math by about 3 or 4 points. So his overall test score went up by like 10 points because of the math. So once we get those test scores, I want you to send that to me too, so that we can now analyze and know what part of the test we need to focus on. And if you got them handy, you could just read them off to me. But so even when you go take the test again, let's say that science need to improve. Well, let's say that you didn't improve on the English, you didn't improve on the math, you didn't improve, let's say, even in the essay part, right? But you improved in the science. Well, you can use, and I'm not sure if you know this, but you can use the scores from the other subjects. Like you can use your highest score from each test. Did you know that?
Yes, sir. The it's like a super score.
Okay. Yeah, yep, yep. So like you can use your, so let's say you took test 4 times. You can use your highest score per subject for all 4 of them tests, and they'll put all 4 of your best scores together. So that's what I'm saying. We need to get the actual your actual scores so we know what needs to be adjusted. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to find my ACT thing right now because I know
Okay,
I
no,
got them.
and listen, it ain't no, yeah, no, and I mean, you got time to send it to me. Send it to me this afternoon, this evening, whatever. But in terms of making adjustments, that's what same way we're going halftime. Hey, they getting the rebound and they sending one, they leaking one down court. They only sending 4 to the boards. So we got to watch the one that's back because they're getting easy, fast break buckets. If we take care of that, we win because now we cutting off all the easy baskets. From academic standpoint, same way. Okay, these are the scores. This is what we need to focus on. We need to continue doing well in these subjects, but let's now focus. So now when you getting up in the morning, going back to the schedule, now when you getting up in the morning, you're not necessarily attempting to study or test on the whole exam. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now it's the same way. We've agreed and we know that, let's say, in your hour workout, you should probably spend 80% of that hour, so at least 40 minutes, doing different type of shooting drills because that's your strength. Does that make sense? Right. So we're not necessarily focusing on what's the limitation. From an academic standpoint, we can hit it the same way. You can, let's say that your math is the highest score. Well, we can focus on improving that math score more, but with the academics, we still need to improve. The same way, like, okay, you can make right hand layups, but not your left hand. Make a right hand layup when we need a bucket. But I'd be damned right, in them last 20 minutes of that hour that you've been shooting different ways, you need to start incorporating some work to improve that left hand, right? We're not just focusing the whole hour on the left hand, right? So we still want to pay
Yes, sir.
attention to the subjects in which you're doing well. You get those reps just from class. Does that so like math is good, English is good. Well, when you go to math class, when you go to English class, that's giving you reps on how, so that's still improving that subject matter. We now, from an academic standpoint, we want to focus on what part about what subject do we need to improve on, and now let's intentionally zone in on that. So now when you getting up in the morning, right? So I'm gonna share my screen with you because I did pull it up, right? Let me see. Boom, boom. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen with you, and let's go through this and get you out of here. All right. So you can see my screen, right, D?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So so you drop your brother off in the morning, right? So English class, right, or one ACT prep subject. So how does this work? Is it so is this the college class or what?
That's the college class. It don't start till August 18th. I don't start
Okay.
going to college till August 18th.
So that would be normally what, from 8 to 9:30?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So normally you're in class from 8 to 9:30. So this to the one ACT prep and like the NCSA or meeting with me, that's just until, that's either for today or until class actually starts. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Cause I only go to class 2 days. I go Tuesday and Thursday. I only go to the college Tuesday
Okay.
and
So
Thursday.
on Monday, so Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, what are you doing between 8 and 9:30?
But that right there, like either I could do the ACT
Okay, I got you.
or
Yeah, yeah, I
college
got you.
searching and stuff.
I got you.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. I got you. So in making your schedule, right? And you can do it on a word sheet, right? Or you can do it on a, let's see this. Let me see real quick, right? So you could do it on a word sheet, or let's say that you create a table, right? So let's say that you create a table here, right? And then you could just broaden it out the way that you want. But let's say that you like literally, and it can be on a Excel worksheet, whatever,
That's
right?
what I
But let's
got
say
this
that
calendar
you,
for. I got like a whole calendar, like a real deal calendar.
okay,
Is it?
yep. Now, yep, yeah, I see it. Now, does that calendar, hold it up again? Because that's like a dry erase calendar, right, D?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is that calendar also on your phone?
No, no, I didn't put it on my
Probably
phone.
not. Okay. So it's it, it's good that you wrote it out, right? Because I was gonna say, actually, let me get back let me get back to sharing my screen. Okay, boom. Here we go. Right. So I was thinking more so here, right, and then you put in the time. But as long as you got a calendar, cool. But now with your telephone, right? I want you the same way. Let me get back to the schedule. All right. So now with your telephone, I want you to put those same things in your phone, like especially Tuesday and Thursday. You know the class is reoccurring from 8 to 9:30, right? Now Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, right? Now during this time, you know that okay, so this from 8:15 to 9 to 9:30. So if you're giving yourself 45 minutes, do you see if we focus on right one ACT prep subject, right? If we focus on the subject that may need the most improvement, it may take you 45 minutes or it may take you, let's say, an hour, but you're going to get closer to improving this score faster. Does that make sense? Instead of just studying science, but the one that can stand the most improvement is English, right? So now when you coming in on Mondays and let's say Mondays and Wednesdays, you know Monday and Wednesday that you gonna hit this hard for an hour, and now these other 30 minutes, right? You actually have time to now break down what we went over about a month ago with those schools and looking at exactly what's there, looking at some of the rosters, start following up, right, with some of these interests that are coming in or will be coming in. Um, so you can keep it 45 minutes and then really like give yourself a break between what this uh oh, okay. So yeah, so if it started at 8, so your mom gave you 15 minutes to kind of prep and get yourself together. So and then the other 30 minutes here. So you can go 45 minutes and 30 minutes, or you can go a whole hour and then just do the other 30 minutes, right? Now here, break, rest. Is it a bus to take you back and forth to school from the college?
No, sir, I drive.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. So now once class over, break, rest, what time does your next class start? I'm going through this. So at
12,
10, uh
10.
okay, so after 9:30, your next class don't start to 12 o'clock sometime?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So you like on a college schedule almost. So now between 9:30 and 10, right? That's your really this is your commute time, right? If you
Yes,
driving
sir.
to get back to the school. Okay. Right now, you just at the crib until 12. Is that what happened?
Yes, sir.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me, D? Okay. So now, okay, this workout is where at school
Now that's it.
or it's a
Actually
private
hasn't
workout?
started yet. It's a workout with a trainer that I go to, Coach Daniel Bandy.
Okay,
But
okay,
he
okay.
out of town, bro.
Now, okay. Now, how often is this?
Usually I believe it's every day except for Friday. I believe. I think that's his usual
Okay,
schedule.
okay,
I ain't been to him in a little minute.
okay. S-
Yeah,
Okay, so
he been.
has this started yet?
No, sir.
So this okay, so this hasn't started yet.
No, sir.
Okay. So you'll be going here Monday through Thursday from 10 to 11:30.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
That's
Okay, I got
yes,
it.
sir.
Okay. So now 11:30 to 12. So really you would be going from class to the gym.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then okay, boom, 11 freshen up, food, travel to high school, 12:05. Okay, so now you got statistics, ACT prep. Okay, boom. College search, root rest. What is this? I can't read that. Some classes.
Oh, that's homework. Like finish
Okay.
homework. If I had homework,
Okay. So break down to me because you show me your schedule, and now I'm reading this. What times do you have classes? Actual classes.
I
So
have
you got the morning
college
class, the 8 o'clock.
8 to 9:30. Then my sixth period is the AP statistics, and that is from 12 about 12:10 to 1. I only have
Okay.
two, and then I go to basketball at 2:30.
Now, is that a class?
Basketball, yes sir. That's my eighth period.
Okay. 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 So that's like a gym class.
Yes sir.
Okay.
I
Now,
got
is
that's
that just
practice.
reserved for the players?
Yes sir, that's practice. Basketball practice at 2:30.
Oh, okay. So it's not like a gym class.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. So how many classes at the high school you got? Just one?
I mean two if you count basketball, because eighth period athletics, but really just the AP
Okay.
statistics.
Okay. So eighth period is athletics,
Athletics.
and then it transitions right in, and then it transitions right into basketball practice.
Now, like if you on a team, like if you on any sport, your sport practice
Mhm.
time is eighth period. Like everybody
Oh,
has,
okay. I got it.
yeah,
I got it. I got it. Kind of practice at the same time. Okay.
yes sir,
Now, what time is practice? Now, what time is practice over? So it go from 2:30 to 6.
yeah, about 2:36, and sometimes I get out later because I stay and
Okay.
shoot.
Okay. All right. So I'm not gonna necessarily get into what y'all do between 2:30 and 6, but that's because that's a nice. So y'all practicing like 3.5 hours
I mean,
for the
really,
most part.
really, we be done. Most of the time, we be done by 5, 5:30, and then I stay and shoot. But that's like for right now, cause this like preseason. But like in season practices, yeah, it do
Yeah.
get long.
Once game starting, all that. Okay. So you got the message I sent you Monday, right? About planning your athletics around your academics, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So looking at this, where's the blockage in Darren's mind? Or the laziness, as you say it?
Um,
Like,
I guess really,
what's the blockage? Is it just too much or what?
it's like the morning, the 8:30, the 8 to 9:30 with the ACT and college searching. I mean, it just, it's just
Hmm.
like you. I know you got to cut it down, like little by little. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna all happen in one day. But I look a lot
Hmm.
to the future. So I look at how much I gotta get done, and then I kind of stop myself. But
Yeah. So you're
uh,
looking at, is it safe to say, so is it safe to say that you're looking at the entire picture?
yes, sir.
Okay. So let me ask you this question, right? Kind of a joke, but seriously, do you know the best way to eat an elephant? I think we went over this before.
Little by little, I think.
One bite at a time, right? One bite at a time. So, meaning Darrion Love is seeing all of that stuff, and if it's the test preps and all this, and you're probably trying to figure out how you gonna get all that done, kind of in one setting, and from that, it can then get so when you're looking at it that way, is it overwhelming to you or what?
Sometimes, but it's just like
Okay.
you got. I realize you got to make sacrifices because sometimes I be thinking how I'm gonna get all this done and still be able to like do me, kinda. But you gotta you gotta put things to the side and get focused.
So now when you say do me, what do you mean by that?
Like like weekends probably, I guess weekends or like if I want to work a job or something, I mean that stuff just that's gonna have to be on weekends cause but then if I work a job on the weekends, how do I have time to have fun on the weekends? Uh,
Yeah.
but it's just I don't know.
Okay.
It'd be hard.
So nope. So listen. So I'm about to help you out. I'm about to help you out real simple, right? And then I'm gonna show you that's gonna make it that much better. One, on a scale of 1 to 10, and I want you to be totally honest with me as you always are. How much do you want to go to college next year and play basketball? Scale of 1 to 10.
Like a 9. Really, I do
Okay.
want to go
No. So
uh,
on a scale of 1 to 10.
a 10.
Okay. You sure? Now again, honest. You already know me. I'm gonna take what you say and we gonna build from it. So don't tell me what I you may think I want to hear. I like be honest. On right now, as of today, on the scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want to go to college to play ball?
And that's my goal. So yeah, like that's what I want to do. It's a 10.
So okay, all right. Why do you want to do it? And you these questions I'm asking the same questions I asked on the onboarding call, and that's why I said write those things down in the onboarding call because it's gonna be those times where you get stuck. It's gonna be those times when you get frustrated. It's gonna be those times when you get confused, and you got to look back to the reason why you're doing it. Okay, so if it's a 10, you got 1 year, right? You got about 9 months to fulfill that goal. And I'm saying goal and not dream, right? But you got about 9 months because the dream may be the NBA, but part of that goal is high school and then college and then right. So you reaching that goal in 9 months, right, consists of the honors graduate, the improving the ACT, the getting offers, the having a good season, but it also includes some sacrifice, right? That's gonna be
Yes,
the
sir.
hardest part. That's why I asked you on the scale of 1 to 10. I had the same conversation with my daughter the other day. Now she got 2 jobs. She don't have to work 2 jobs. Nobody forcing her to work 2 jobs. She got two and she got a business. But she wanted because go back to cheering, which is what she's great at, right? She's good at basketball, but she loves cheering more. So I'm like, well, we've always said, well, go cheer if that's what you love. Don't just play basketball because your dad's a basketball coach. But I told her just a couple of days ago, it's some sacrifice that you're gonna have to make. So meaning there may be some Saturdays that you already know that you got a game or that you already know you got practice. Um, or you have some family things, you know what I'm saying? Your brother may have a competition, or it may be some things that y'all have to do. That's why you have to plan to get on the front end, Darrion, of those things that are necessary so that then you have time to do those things that are optional. Right? I'm gonna say that again. And this is for you to start to categorize things. What's necessary to reach my goal? And then what's optional? Now, you a teenager, you're a senior, you want to have fun, you want to go to homecoming and do all the other things. There is trust me, there is time to do that. When it doesn't become time, do you know when it don't become time? And this should totally change your whole mindset. When
Um,
you don't have time to do the social things, it's probably majority of the time is because you didn't do what you were supposed to do on the front end. So now the time spent that you have an option to do what you like to do, you really don't have that option because you got to go back and do the thing that you were supposed to do. There was a necessity. Does that make sense? Bless you.
yes, sir. Thank
Right? So when I spoke about keep the morning routine like we talked about in the summer. Now, yeah, you may not be able to necessarily bounce the ball early in the morning and wake the neighbors up, right? But part of the routine that you should be doing, right? If it's getting up, and this is something that I want you to think about this weekend, and I want you to send it to me, right? So part of me, right? So I get up, I like say my personal prayer, right? I read my Bible verse on my phone. So I pick my phone up, but it's just I don't go scrolling. I right read my Bible verse, and then I go further into depth. Right. I have another book, kind of like devotionals, men devotionals, and then I have another book here where like daily, and this is a new one because I just had to get a new book, but daily I like literally write the things that I'm appreciative for, right? Well, now I'm starting the day. I'm drinking at least uh, 16-ounce bottle of water, right? Like I make sure that I do that, right? Like as I'm in the bathroom and as I'm right getting my thoughts and things together, I try to send my email out and do some other things. Well, what's your morning routine like? Is it are you doing push-ups, or are you reading something in the morning, right? Do you have a gratitude journal or a thankful journal to where now you can start your day in the whole positive light, and now your energy is right, your day is going well. Now let's say you get up, eat breakfast. Now you start with the list your mama gave you. Now you got to get ready for your brother's school and everything. But if you get up and you're reacting to everything, right? Got to get up. Oh man, I forgot to iron my clothes. Now I got to do that. Now I gotta do something. Now I gotta get my brother's school. Oh, I didn't eat. Now you playing catch up. It's like going into a game. If the coach ever put you into the game and y'all down 10, right? Or let's say if a coach put you in and y'all losing, and the coach expects you to be the person that helped the team come back, right? And then let's say now the team come back when you in the game, and you can tell me if this has ever happened because I think it's happened to all of us. Now when y'all start coming back, then he may take you out again, and then it go back to the same thing. Has that ever happened?
you. Yes, sir.
Right. So You don't like playing catch up. It don't really frustrate you. The reason that you probably get frustrated because he took you out as y'all coming back is because like it's working. Like, how come you don't see what I see? It's working. So why you take me out? It's the same thing with your morning routine, Darrion, right? So when I talk about getting up earlier, you still need to not get up earlier to take care of what Darrion needs to take care of before the day starts happening, right? Now the the portion that your mother said kind of before eighth period in terms of right now between 1 and 2:20. Now you do your prep again, right, and you rest, and now say maybe some homework and classes. That's fine if that's some study time. But my point is, if you're not doing nothing that you need to be doing for you until after 5 or 6 o'clock, you won't. Now you playing catch up because you only have a few hours to now study, get yourself together for the next day, because you need to be in bed at a certain time because you got to be up early as heck, right? Again, what time you normally get up now?
Like
6:30, 6,
7:25. Cause I get up and
7:05.
drop my some like 7:20. Cause I get up and drop my cousins them off. My cousin and brother off.
Okay, okay. So you may need to get up, right? Even getting up at 6:45. Think about if you got up at 6:45 and you did the morning routine that we talked about doing your onboarding process, right? If it's those push-ups, those sit-ups, those squats, those lunges, like form shooting, like if you did a morning workout, now you got your blood flowing. Now by the time they get up, you already got energy. You've already taken care of a lot. So now if Coach Daniel not in town, you've still already gotten, let's say, a workout in, right? Not to mention in between this drive time, you can be listening, right? Not necessarily driving and watching, but you could be listening to, the online library, or you may be listening to something. It could be a podcast. It could be, what I'm saying, anything that can help you rest and relax on your way. You may not be to listen to the baby or whoever y'all listening to. You may have to listen to something that's going to be, let's say, more educational, that's going to help bridge that gap during your travel time. But you got to get this work in on the front end, because as you said, once the season start, this time is going to be much longer. But you're a student athlete, so you gotta, and I mean, hell, your schedule's sweet. If you only got really 2 classes at school, that mean that you about done, right? And you got most of the requirements needed. So even if, right, and I'm gonna say even if you're not getting up here until next week after you fit it in here, right? Well, now you may need to, but even here, you really don't have time, because if coaching starts at 10 and you get out at 9, now you kind of eating in the car or resting in the car, but you're going right from class to the gym, and then right from gym now to high school, and then straight to class. So that's what I mean by now you're just reacting to the team hitting threes, and now y'all like, well, who got them? Who got them? You stick them. If there's an issue, you stick them. So if there's an issue in here and you're the blockage, that's the first word you use. But now let's use the second word, laziness. So the laziness mean you got to go to sleep on the front end so that you can wake up early on the back end. And you can't get a proper rest if you're not going to bed until later, because you got a whole lot of other stuff to up here to do that you didn't take care of during this time. And during our calls, right? So what I'm what I'm most likely going to do, and I did it last year. I'm thinking about going back to it. Is making our like biweekly coaching calls on the weekend. So if it's Saturday morning or if it's say Sunday evening, we can take care of what needs to be done, and it don't necessarily disrupt say practices or games, and now you're not able to make it because you got practice or you got a game. So but I'll let you know that like within the next couple of days, because next week our call is again next week. But I want to show you this visually, and then I'm gonna let you go. All right, so going back to the DIS assessment, right? This is your chart. So this shows again that you don't really like conflict, which is fine, right? This shows, right? So again, if we were to look at it, right, how you tend to make problems, right, approach problems, we see that you're here. So and that's why I asked you, what do you see with everything? So now what this report shows is now you're more so mild, but when you're faced against pressure, now you kind of get agreeable, and now you just kind of start doing what you think other people may want you to do. Because normally you know what I'm saying, you ain't pushy and those things. Why? Because over here you're more stable, and not only are you stable, but you're analytical, meaning that what you just said, you looking at this list that your mom gave, right? You're looking at it, and you probably trying to analyze everything. Has that happened or no?
Yes, sir.
All right. So tell me one thing that you was analyzing critically when your mama gave you this list. What
The
really bugged you out?
the 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 part where like the testing, like how I'm supposed to work on exactly, like what area I'm supposed to exactly work on, and then like the college search and things like college search,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
your work, like looking at the hoops mastery
Yep.
stuff and searching up all the
Yep.
like a
So,
college a day. Mm-hmm.
yep. So now watch. So now, no, no, and that's good, right? So if we were to look at this, right, we know again you're more of an introvert, right? Your you with both are equal in your grounds crew, right? Right. Remember we talked about the grounds crew, like Scottie Pippen, right? That's the glue of the team. And then we talked about the air traffic controller, right? Like Phil Jackson. That's the ones that's getting the plan together. Me as a air traffic controller, I understand this, right? This is now you in your head, you thinking about if it's right, uh what if I miss a part, what if it goes wrong, right? You coming up with a whole lot of answers to questions that may not even be valid. Does that make sense? So when you talking about like, what do I do for Who's Mastery? How do I look up a college a day? What about this? You're looking for the direction or the starting point, so then you can get going. I mean, do you feel as though as if you had the starting point, it'd be less stressful?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Like if you knew, okay, when I go to this site, then I'm looking for this, and this, so you can check it off and then move to the next one. Is that easier for you to work with?
Yeah, that's easier, but I feel like I already got that because what you had told me from the colleges, like what to look up,
Right.
is
Yep.
just
Yep. So so the point that I'm saying is that even though your mom put it nice here, right? You can take this, and that's all that we've been talking about. But you can take this, Darrion, and because these people are people that can create systems, you take what your mom wrote and you make it make sense to you. Does that make sense? Like you put it in a system on your calendar, on your spreadsheet, in your phone to where it makes sense. So now one ACT prep subject, you may be like, that's why I said let's figure out which one. Right. So maybe on Mondays, I'm gonna do English. Tuesdays, I'm gonna do math. But if you come up with the system, you're better able to not only understand it, but then explain it if you need to explain it. Does that is that right or no?
That's right.
So the same way from the basketball standpoint. Remember the first thing that you told me when we first talked. Sometime the coach may want you to go one way, you go another way because you see something, and then you told me that you do what? Even though you saw it, you used to do what?
I'm gonna question it and like,
Question it.
mhm.
That's this. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Right?
sir.
You're questioning it, right? And so again, how you read this, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, but you're the 77, right? So it's more so analytical and right, it's 77. And so it's analytical and careful. So to help you in the next 3 minutes, I'm gonna get you out of here, but I want you to understand this real quick. So analytical means that you're like picking things apart, right? You're taking things and you're dividing them into elements, right? That's what you do. And because you breaking things down, now when you start breaking things down in the analytical state, if you don't use it correctly, it'll just create more problems because now you've taken this and where your mom got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She got 11 lines, 12 if right, but let's say 11 lines. You break this one down and you may come up with 5 different lines, right? Because you said not only your brother, but it's your cousin, and then it may be something else, and then you got to head to ASU, right? US, and then what if this? So don't create situations that don't even exist. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Right? So when you look at this, when you look at it, and if you can analyze it and break it down, okay, after I drop my brother and my cousin off, then I'm gonna go to school. I know I got English class, right? So going to if you can now take this analytical, but then your other gift, right? And we talking about like superpower gift is that you're careful. So you're attentive to danger, right? So it's like I can go right, but I see that if we go left, this play wide open. But now you start to get careful and you start thinking about it, not so much if the play don't work, because you know it's gonna work because you've seen it, you planned it in your mind, but it's what if my teammates don't execute, I'm gonna get the blame because who told you to go left in the first place? Does that make sense? But it's like left works, but because everybody else is not thinking the way that you're thinking, now you're kind of covering up for them, and now you being careful, not because you don't trust you, but you don't trust, let's say, the resources or the things around you. Has that ever been an issue? Like, if it's on you, you can make the shot. But if you make the pass, you ain't quite sure if that person gonna make the shot like the shot that you would take. Has that ever happened
Yes,
in your
sir.
mind?
Yes,
So
sir.
the point that I'm saying is so the point that I'm saying is your gift, Darrion, is that you are careful and you're orderly. People that just rush around and just so move and move, they miss a lot of things. You're careful and orderly, but you're also complacent and stable. Complacent means that you're sure about yourself. Stable mean that like you ain't wishy-washy. So this means both of these things mean that these people take their time to come up with a solution. So where you say lazy, you've probably heard that before from somebody, ain't you?
Yes, sir.
Stop being lazy. When in reality, and that's why I was telling your mom and dad when we went over this as family, it just takes you a longer period of time because you're here. So this grounds crew, right? They like moving at a nice pace, right? So this person likes moving at they're generally patient. That's you. Reliable. That's you. Attentive. Gonna pay attention. Consistent. You you're gonna do what you say that you're gonna do for the most part, right? Coach, I'm gonna be on, but it took you a minute to get on, so you just move a little slower. But they're driven by a structured process. So when you're just giving things and now you're looking at that elephant until you can figure out the structure of how to go about eating the elephant, it may get frustrating to you, right? And people say lazy because they think that you got a lower sense of urgency. Well, you got a lower sense of urgency because you're not in a rush to figure it out. You really want to take your time to understand it. Does that make sense? People just want to figure answers out so they can move on. These people and these people, they move slower because they don't just want to figure it out. They really, really want to understand it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
But a lot of times you may not have as much time to figure things out.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want for you to do, right? And it goes back to those 4 words that I was telling you, right? I want you to write these 4 words down and I want you to look up the definition and I want you to and I ain't putting more on your plate, but I want you to understand what complacent means. And I want you to understand what stable means. And then I want you to understand what careful means and I want you to understand what analytical means. So I want you to continue being careful, meaning not being reckless, but don't be so careful that it don't allow you to make a movement. And now people may think you lazy like Darrion. Man, you ain't done that yet. That was 2 days ago. Are you just lazy? But in your mind, actually, you may still be planning out the best course of action. Does that sound about right?
Yes, sir.
Right? So this is the
Yes,
definition
sir.
of complacent. Self-satisfied, right? When you're self-satisfied or you're unbothered, you're not necessarily in a rush, but it's the same way on the court, right? Same way on the court. Some people may be like, man, hurry up and pass me the ball. But you trying to figure out like, okay, like 1 or 2 more dribbles, I'ma know how the defense gonna shift, and that's gonna open up everything else. So you have to be okay with knowing, right? So you have to be okay. Let me get back to it. So you have to be okay with knowing exactly what strengths you bring in any situation. So you know it's going to take you a little bit of time, Darrion. But guess what? This is where we don't want you because this is when you say it's blockage. right? This is the blockage, this blind spot. So what do you mean by blind spot? So I'm gonna show you. You're assured of yourself and you're very careful. But now when the pressure is on, even on the court, now you get to being consistent or you get to being orderly. Now, you may say, well, being orderly is good, coach. Absolutely. But you analytical, so you already figured out some things. So you know certain things you should do, certain things you shouldn't do. You're very careful, so you ain't just running in with your head down. You're well aware of what you're doing. But now, let's say when you start to get stressed, now because again, you start to become orderly, which is the same thing. What happens here, you start being agreeable. Now you're doing things that you may not be comfortable with just for the sake of doing it because that's what people want you to do. I don't want you to be in that state. Don't just do things because people want you to do them. And so now you're going to be agreeable. Now you're going to be orderly, right? Now you're going to be consistent, and people love people that's consistent. But being consistent, that means this like doing the same things over and over again. But I want you to understand that when you're consistent, you've already went past consistent, Darrion. That's why you're more stable. People can't move you because you know what got to be done, and you're complacent, you're confident, and you're sure about yourself. But sometimes you questioning yourself comes in because people don't understand that it's going to take you a little bit longer time to process stuff, and that's okay because these people over here they ain't processing nothing. We already talked about your brother, right? The high D or the flight attendant, right? That just love to talk, right? Love to have fun. Like, hey, let's go out here and let's win this game. Hey, let's go like have fun and high five and everything. But you like, hey, we missed 7 free throws and we down 4 at halftime. That's how your mind works. They just thinking, oh man, we got to score more points. It's like, no, we need to hit our free throws. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, sir.
I want you to embrace. So I want you to embrace the fact that you process things a little slower, but that's why you're an honor student. Because once you got it figured out, you can't lose. I'm just saying, don't get frustrated by people getting frustrated with you because it's taking you a while to get it figured out. I'm saying be okay with who you are, but understand that when decisions have to be made a little bit faster, you may have to even, and this may sound crazy, but you may have to even go ask your brother for advice. It may sound crazy. You may be like, Coach, I ain't asking that dude nothing in terms of advice with me as a senior. But because your brother is about getting results, and that's the one in your family that's about getting results, you may have to ask him, even on the way to school sometimes, like, hey, like, man, what do you think? And you'll be amazed at what he tell you. Try it. Like tomorrow, later on today, ask him his opinion about something that you've been thinking about and don't respond to it. Don't be like, oh man, you crazy. Oh man, you think that? Don't respond to it. Ask him a question and like D, I really want your honest opinion. And listen to what he say and then use that little test to determine how much more in depth can your conversation with your little brother be. Okay?
Yes,
And
sir.
I'm saying that for one reason because he's about getting results. So he may say something to you that's going to be bugged out or that you may not understand, but his coaches and his teammates that you got
that's going to speak in that language. He may be like, dude, just get up earlier and get the work done. Listen to what he's saying, right? Because we just need what we need you to do is to start making decisions a little bit faster. Right? Remember when y'all went to go play this summer and you was like, you made mid range, but you missed the three, and then I think you said you had a layup and you missed. But you also said you had a couple open shots and you didn't shoot. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
Right? So we want you to make decisions quicker. So when you got that open shot, the coach already told you, I need you to shoot that thing. So when you got that open shot, we need you to trust yourself and the decision to shoot that shot. When your mom gives you a list, right, and say, I need this, this, and this done, I need you to be able to look at it and grab a portion of it. Again, we eating the elephant piece by piece. I need you to look at it, grab a portion of it, spin it around in Darrion's processor, and come out with a system on how you're going to get that thing done. Right? So case in point, mom say, looking at schools, the ACT prep, what am I prepping? Right? What school am I looking at today? Now you've just taken a portion of what she said, put it into your processor, spit it back out with in a different way. Okay, I'm looking at one school today. I'm looking at one subject. Now it's easier for you to make that decision on what school and what subject. Does that make sense? Instead of spending 45 minutes of your hour and a half, like, now what school am I going to look at today? Or what about the ACT? So what we need to work on, what our goal is for the next 2 weeks. And we got to call next week, right? So yeah, we got to call next week. And then wait a minute, is it called next week or today? I think they called today, right?
I don't know.
I
I don't know.
because I was in. I think the call is today because I was in Florida. But and if you can't make it today, that's fine because this is served as it, right? Because I really want to hit this point. I'm probably make a whole nother video and I'm gonna put it in. And when you get the chance, go in because Jacob had his makeup call, right? A couple people didn't do theirs, but Jacob had his makeup call last Friday. I'm that's going in the group today with this video. But we talked about the difference in floaters and runners. So you definitely want to take a look at that. But this is what we're working on for the next 2 weeks, Darrion. We're working on looking at something, grabbing a piece of it out, putting it through the processor, and then putting it out in a different way. So the same way if I was to give you a playbook and it got let's say 50 different plays in it, your job is to only grab 2 or 3 of those plays and to make it make sense to you in the way that you understand it, and then be able to teach that to yourself or teach that to somebody else. So if I was saying, okay, look, we running flat or running motion, pass to the right, screen to the left, ball side big, screen the opposite post, and then when the ball go back to the top, we're gonna down screen, we're gonna do it all over again. Well, you right once you understand it, now you may process, okay, once I pass it, I need to screen away, but once I pass it, the big ball side big got to screen away. When it come back to the top, we know it's a down screen. So now you may think from everything that I just said, when you process it, you may think down screen, cross screen. I done gave you a full plethora of things to do, but you may think down screen, cross screen. That's how you understand the play. As long as you understand it and you can explain it to me that you understand it, that's half your stress. But if you looking at it like, man, coach say pass, screen away, post got a screen, then it come back to the top, down screen, that can cause blockage. And then when you not executing, coach may think you lazy. Mama, daddy may think you lazy. You process it down screen, cross screen, down screen, cross screen. That's all it is. Now you're able to execute on that much better. Now you can move on to the next decision. What we're thinking about right now is you making decisions. So I want for you, and now this is gonna add to your plate, but I want for you for the next 7 days. I need two decisions. I need you to text me two decisions that you made every day. Decisions. And you may say, Coach, I decided to eat bacon today instead of sausage. Okay. But I think you know what I mean when I'm talking about decisions, right? Like meaningful decisions.
Yes, sir.
Did I confuse you on that? Did I confuse you on that?
No, not really, but like I don't know how many decisions just really pop up in my day.
You had to decide to get on this call, right?
Right.
You decided to try to look for your ACT papers, right?
Yeah.
And then you decided to look for them later because you couldn't find them, right?
All right. Yeah.
Like you decide to go a certain way when you get in the car, right? You decide what radio station you listen to. So literally we have 30 to 60,000 thoughts that we have to decide on a day. But most of those thoughts and the decisions that we make are based on negative things that we're playing in our head. So I'm saying I want you to be able to make decisions faster so you're not thinking about what could go wrong. That careful part. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Do you said for the next 7 days?
Yeah. Until next Friday, right? I just want you, and it's going to be easier than you think. The two that I want you to send me is when you got to think about something and like, I want you to make a decision, right? The same way you on a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2. You don't necessarily think about the decisions that you got to make as a point guard on a 3-on-2, or but if you're in the middle on a 3-on-2, it's a different set of decisions that you got to make than if you're on the wing, right?
Right.
Does that make sense? Right? Because if you're in the middle, you got to make a decision. Are you passing to the left, to the right? Are you stopping at the free throw line and shooting? Are you going all the way in? You got a lot of decisions to make in a short period of time, right? But because that's natural, you're not thinking about making a decision. You're just making a decision instinctively. And you trust in the decision that you're making. But if your shooter is on the right side of the court and the dude that can jump high and attack is on the left side of the court.
Okay. I'm listening.
If you pass it, if y'all need, let's say, a 3-pointer, but you're on a 3-on-2 and you pass it to the dude to go in for the dunk, that may be a good decision, but that may not be the best decision on what y'all needed, right? But if you're on the wing and now you're a shooter if I was coaching you, I'm telling you, stop at the 3-point line because the other side is attacking the basket. Now we got a shooter and we got somebody going in. But now the decision that you make is, am I going to listen and stop at the three, or am I going to go all the way in for hopefully for the layup? So it's different decisions. What I want you to do based on this schedule is I want you to when it comes up, like, man, what decision to make? I want you to make that decision that's best for you based on how you understand what's going on. And I don't want you to necessarily think about it too long, because once you think about it too long, you kind of paralyze yourself because you now give yourself 4 or 5 different reasons why you shouldn't do what you know you should do. So, action steps. 1, we eating the elephant piece by piece. 1, when you see something, the whole game, you know you got 4 quarters. So you're not going to win the game in one shot. You got 4 quarters. So the first action step with this schedule is we have to take it piece by piece, step by step. The second thing, right, is we have to know what it is that we're looking at, right? So
Yes,
step
sir.
by step, and then know what we're looking at. That's why I say put it in your processor, right? Grab a portion, put it in your processor, and frame it in a way that makes sense to you. So now you know what you're looking at, right? Because your mother gave you a list, but you ain't really, you saw it, but you ain't really know what you was looking at. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Right? I mean, you was able to read the words, but like you say, in terms of the ACT or the college, the one school a day, you know what is expected, but you don't know the best procedure for Darrion. So we got to now take it and create the best procedure based on how you learn to operate. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, because also, 1, we taking everything step by step. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't get overwhelmed when you got a big project. Step by step. Coach Bailey say take it step by step. I got a whole hour workout. I'm going minute by minute. Or I'm going 5 minutes by 5 minutes. Same way we talked about like the push-ups today. Don't like you may not do 50 push-ups in one set. Do 10 sets, do 5 sets of 10, step by step. Second thing is know what you're looking at. And then the third thing is to make the decision. So we got a 3-step process to this whole schedule thing. Note it is step by step. Know what we're looking at and make a decision. So even though I say get up 15 minutes earlier, go to bed 15 minutes later, you may only get up, let's say 15 minutes early on days that you don't have college classes. Because you know it's that you got a little bit more time to do some things before you got to be back to school. But I want you to really really look at that, and now all the rest of those things is just really like steps, and as you said, we already went through what school to look at, what rosters to look at, based on what you want to know. Now again, when interest start coming in and calls start being made, right, and on our next call, not this call, but on our next call, as I said, I'm going to connect you immediately with 2 coaches, right? So that'll make the job a little bit easier easier for you because now you can kind of use them as like a case study, and based on conversations that you have with them and what they tell you that they may want you to do for them and they school, well, now you'll kind of know a little bit more of the process. Again, I'm gonna introduce you to at least three people that I think good fit, but you getting the work done on the front end on your own, at least you know what to do. You know how to have these conversations with these coaches once I connect y'all and all of those things. But understand step by step. I ain't gonna be the win the whole game in one shot. Step by step. Second thing, right? Know what you're looking at. Be able to take it, analyze it, because that's your superpower. Analyze it and put the plan together carefully. Just don't stifle yourself. That's why the third step is make the decision, because you analyze things, but then the analyzing things prevents you from making a decision. I want you to understand it's a step-by-step process. I want you to know what you're looking at, be aware of what's happening, what needs to be done. You need a 23 to be an honor graduate, so you're aware, you know what you're looking at, right? Now let's make a decision to do what needs to be done. Those are three steps. And then the only homework that you really have, other than to send me the 2 decisions per day, right? The second thing is to ask your brother his opinion about something that's going on, something that you've been thinking about. And then the third thing is you get that graduation audit, right? So it's like three small homework steps, 3 prep steps. Know what you're looking at, or step by step. So be okay with that it takes you time. It takes you time because it's step by step. Look at things step by step. We're not going to eat the elephant in one point. Know what you're looking at, put in your mind, process it in which way you understand it. Now if your mama be like, Darrion, what did you do today? You can tell her what you did and it's everything she needed you to do, but it's in your own words. And then the third thing is make a decision to get it done. All right. And then your counselor ask for that graduation audit, bring it back to me so that now we can line it up with the NCAA requirements. You're going to ask your brother that question and just see what his feedback is. Right. And then the third thing is you sending me the 2 decisions that you've made daily. All right. And then in the process, you already know once you get the ACT and stuff, we can look at that. But when you do your graduation audit, they in that audit, ask them to give you a copy of your ACT too, or at least those scores, because they should have all that. When your graduation audit should one piece of paper with everything on it. Your GPA, your test scores, the classes that you've taken, what else you need to take, because once you go to college, that's going to be the first thing that they give you. Is they're going to give you a rubric. This is what you need to graduate. It's your job to fill it in with what's necessary. So now we're going to just have the counselor do it for you on a high school setting. All right. But don't think of laziness because you heard somebody else say it. Whatever part about you that you think is lazy, you know how to fix that. Right? So in closing, why did you say lazy? Why would you call yourself lazy?
Cause I just don't
Because I don't
move
really.
at the. I be feeling like sometimes I don't move at the speed of others, or sometimes I don't get everything done that I said at a certain time.
Yeah. So again,
I feel I
trust
be
me.
moving slow or something.
Yeah, and you do. You absolutely do. Why? Because of this, right? You absolutely do move slow because literally, and I'm the same way, right? That's why when I asked your brother and he started laughing, right? And he probably moved fast, it probably irritates you. Literally, extroverts, introverts. You see here, your two highest scores, 77, falls in the introvert. So introverts, you ain't got to be around a lot of people. You like being to yourself. You ain't necessarily you can be outgoing with people that you know, and once you get comfortable with them, right? But these people just move at a slower pace because this person has a lot of responsibilities. They can do a lot well. You can probably play the point. You can probably play the two. If necessary, you could probably guard or play the three if the coach needed to go small, right?
Yes, sir.
You think? So you could do a lot of things. They getting bags off the plane, they putting gas in the plane, they putting food on the plane. They got to do a whole lot. So it don't happen without your support because you can be supportive. That's why getting assist does more for you than scoring points because you don't mind being supportive. But you can't support people until you fully understand what's necessary and what's needed. But now on this side, now when you're taking care of what's necessary and what's needed, because if this person tell the plane to leave 1 minute earlier, it can get into a crash because this person is responsible for everybody on board. So now you're analyzing, you moving slow because you know the decision that you make can affect everybody from a point guard, from even school. If your family have to pay for college, that may throw everything off. Maybe. So you want to support them by making them not having to pay, so to speak. But you thinking about, oh well, what if it go wrong? They're careful, right? No, let's be here and let's work on making decisions better that's gonna help these two. And so this person, part of you is focused on what needs to be done. The other part of you is focused on how it's going to affect the people. So how is not doing what needs to be done, say, gonna affect my mama and daddy that want me to do it? But now I'm over here, now I'm stressed because now I'm totally just okay, I'm gonna do it because they want me to do it because I want them to feel a certain way. Or okay, I know that we need to play defense, uh, but this is my buddy. He ain't playing defense, but I ain't gonna say nothing to the coach. So I'm gonna just sit back because I'm moving slower and I'm gonna just help. But that's draining my mind to run the team or to shoot shots when I'm open, right? And we'll go more over into this. And I'm not sure if you got a copy of this, but I'm gonna email you a copy of your report and I want you to really dive into this, right? Like here, let me blow it up so that you can see it. And this is 60 to 80% accurate, but nothing is negative; it's all positive. You may be somewhat conservative in decision making or on important issues, but that's what we're working on. You making better decisions. But I'm going to send this to you, right? Look, you can be overly self-critical of your ability on certain issues or tasks. Does that sound like you?
Yes, sir.
And guess what? If you know you can be overly critical, then that's what we're saying. That's what we're working on, making a faster or a better decision, a quicker decision, and being able to take things step by step and understand what you're looking at. Because you become self-critical because you looking at all the things that could go wrong. And you like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do all this at one time, right? But if you just look at it in terms of, okay, let me make this decision, and then if it's right or if it's wrong, let me shoot this shot. If you miss the shot, it tell you it's if every shot you miss gonna tell you something. It's gonna tell you if you need more power, right? If you need to follow through, or if you need to get on balance. So everything you do, if it don't go well, it's gonna give you some other information. But when I send you this, I want you to just take time over the next couple of weeks too, and just look at this, right? So this is page 13, ideas for being more effective, right? So some of if you pay attention to some of these things, right? A greater emphasis on task, right? Organizational work, complete explanations, right, of the nature of the process. That was why I asked you at first. I was asking you for explanations on the honors classes so that I'll know, because if now then it'll help you get to it faster. But I'm gonna send you this, and I want you to look at that. But those are really the steps, man. The six things. So it's like two different ways. Your brother, the decisions, and the graduation audit. But then I want you to be okay with don't look at the whole house. Break it down. Those the windows, those the gutters, that's the front door, that's the doorknob, right? And how can I improve all those things? Not just the whole house. Step by step, make it make sense. Okay, the windows on the second floor, not all the windows, just the windows on the second floor. Those are the ones that I need to paint, and that's what I need to improve. Now, part of your energy is going to come from completing things. Because I mean, when you finish something, does it make you that much more energetic? Like you was able to accomplish something?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
for the most part.
that's the point of that's why the morning routine is so important. Because now before you even start your day, you've already accomplished something positive, right? That's why breaking those things down and put into your own words in your own system, that makes it I've accomplished something, right? And then you just got to make that decision. So that's it, man. Like that I'm here. If you got any questions on anything that we talked about, I'm gonna put this call into the Hoops Mastery course, so you can go back, you can look at it. Right, it's longer than you or I expected, but I wanted to make sure that this made sense to you, because if you start off senior year on the right track, it'll only get easier. If you started off on the wrong track, it'll get harder. And this is the same things that I'm explaining to my daughter who just started her senior year yesterday, right? It's the same things, right? You and I just split and separate basketball. She's just more student now, maybe cheerleading. But from an academic standpoint, it's all the same thing. All right. And listen, I want you to, I don't know in college, in none of your classes, I don't know what, if y'all got assigned seats or not, but I want you to get used sitting in the first row. Worst case, the first two rows. Get you, because in college, basketball is mandatory that you sit in the first row. Some coaches, like me, I was like first two. Most schools, you got to sit in the first row. Get used to sitting in the first row. That's gonna make class more interesting because you really can't zone off because you're right in the front. And the teacher or the professor will give you the benefit of the doubt because your name and your face gonna be the one of the first ones that pop up in their mind as they doing things. So now when you turn in an assignment, your face gonna pop up because they always see your face, as opposed to you sitting in the back. Now you just a normal student. Now the teacher can put your name with your face, and now that's a whole different vibe. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So get used to that. Now, in terms of basketball, I think that's the easiest part. I need you to use that phone that you got, and I need you to just push record and get it. If you don't, right? So like I'm not sure if you got a Facebook account or not, but it's ways, or even on YouTube. Again, you can go YouTube, like because I showed you, you can go to YouTube, go live on YouTube, but just do it unlisted. So now it's not taking up memory on your phone storage or your cloud, but you got the footage. And now not only
But
can
you
we
can't.
add it to the YouTube account.
My mom and them told me you can't go live on YouTube unless you got like a certain amount of subscribers or something. Like you gotta. So I can't go. I can't go
Nah,
live.
uh, watch. Wa- So now watch. So I'm gonna go to a different account, right? I'm gonna go to a different account. So this account here has no subscribers, right? I'm gonna go to this account. This account has no subscribers, right? Once I go up here to create, I can upload a video or I can go live. Right, it's the little plus. Now once you go live, right? So it starts going live and it gives you all this information, right? Get set up. Don't worry, you have a chance to review, right? So if I was to start right now, right, use your existing webcam, and so right, it may not let me use my camera because I'm using it with you, but now you see here, web stream info. I don't want it public. I want it on unlisted. Now I'm putting no. Now I'm going live, right? Create a title, test. Now, once I go live, smile for the thumbnail, right? Now I'm live. I'm live on YouTube, but I'm the only one that can see it. And once I get done, right, slide this over, boom, right? So I'm gonna go live, but I'm actually unlisted on live, right? So if I was to go back, right? So I'm gonna use another account. Boom. So I'm gonna use my personal my switch accounts. So now let me come here, right? I can't really see my live unless I got right. So 22 subscribers. So yeah, see, I can't really find it because I'm right here, right? And now if I so to go edit, you see it's unlisted. So can't nobody see it but me, right? So once I end the stream, it's gonna save, right? Boom, edit in studio if I care to do any of that. But I'm just showing you, right? You can go live with that. And now once I was to use this same account and go to my channel and if I go to right, if I go to this account where I went live on, and now if I go to videos, that video should pop up under okay, that's you, but it should pop up under my live videos. But to answer your question, you are able. Oh shit, I'm not even. Was I share? Oh, okay, I was sharing my screen. So you are able to go live on YouTube. Um, and I'm just saying in terms of so from a basketball standpoint, you want like let's start to take up your workouts, even though like you go into your trainers, but when you go to Coach D, whoever it is, go to him with a plan of what you need to work on. And I tell everybody this. It don't matter if it's a pro trainer or a person that just started out training. Don't let them just give you what they want to give you, right? you tell them going in what you need to work on or what you would like to work on. Now they may give you some things he'll give you some things that he may see that you need to work on, but you don't let somebody else just tell you what you need to work on. You should kind of know what needs to improve. Does that make sense? So when you go in
Yes,
there,
sir.
go to them and like, I want to get this done during this session, or for this week, or for this month. This is what I need to work on. So now they ain't got you just going through cones, and you really need to be working on your change of speed. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So go in and have a conversation with your trainer every time you go. Like, this is where I'm at. This is what I want to work on. That way you make his job easier, and he's able to help you more effectively. Which is why I always ask you after we go through our thankful and grateful. I always ask, how can I serve you today? Right? I may know what I want to talk to you about, but I always ask, okay, so D, what's going on? Where are you stuck at? So we can get past that. If I just come in and give you what I want to give you, that may not be what you need. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that's all I got for you today. I'm gonna actually put the link for the class this afternoon. Again, if you can, catch up on the class this evening, that's cool. If not, that's totally fine too. But I'm gonna just reinforce some things we talked about with making those decisions. Um, and after you get all of that stuff situated, let me know step by step how you're coming on all that stuff.
Like on the graduation audit and all that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. How much water do you drink, D, a day?
I don't know, like a bottle or two.
Not enough. I need you to up your water intake, right? I mean, I know that we've been on long, but I see your drainage, right? It looks like you're kind of drained. Um, if that's sleep, if that's workouts, if that's being on this call for a couple hours now, which we normally shouldn't go this long, but your water intake will keep you hydrated, will keep your muscles and your organs hydrated, which will give you more energy. So I need for you to at least be consuming a half a gallon of water a day.
Yes, sir.
That's 4 16-ounce bottles. That's 4 16-ounce bottles. Now, if you need to put fruit in it, if you need to put lemon juice in it, lime juice, to give it some flavor, but I need you to drink more water because that's going to immediately improve your energy. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, so when I text you and I say, D, check in, I want you to check in with a ounce number, right? So like I'm at 24 ounces right now, and I normally have a bottle as I'm talking, but I need to go drink at least two because I'm behind. So when I text you and I be like, D, check in, I need you to be like, Coach, I'm on my second bottle. I'm on my third bottle. All right. Keep a
Yes,
bottle
sir.
of water with you at all times. At all times. All right. And so I will talk to you a little bit later. Send me send me that list because you never sent me that list of those states. Remember we talked about the states that you kind of want to stay in, and then it was like 60 schools within that. Send me that because you never sent it to me, so I know.
Okay.
All right, so you can send me that once you send me the ACT stuff.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, do you got anything else? I know you're ready to go. You got anything else for me? Anything?
No, sir.
Nope.
No,
You
sir.
said no?
I'm good. No, sir.
All right. Okay. Did this help though? Like, are you more confused or are you a little bit clear?
I'm a little clear. I mean, I'm kind of the same, but like I know what I need to. I know some things I need to do. I got things that I need
Okay.
to do to help.
Okay. So let's look there, and then let's say by Tuesday, if it's still confusing, then like reach out to me, and we may not have to hop on. We may just be able to communicate through our phone to make another adjustment to the adjustment. Right. So at halftime we made the adjustments, come out after halftime, and now the coach may have to call that timeout in the third quarter. To say, okay, now let's. So if we need to call that timeout Tuesday or Wednesday and further tweak it, then we'll do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay. ID. I'll holler at you, my brother. Tell the family I said hello, and I'm gonna get back to them hopefully in the next 24, 48 hours with that information for them.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay. ID. Yes, sir.